In 1752, as this painting by this painting there by Hogarth says, I can't get used to the fact that everything is reversed in the computer. But as this painting shows, this is a painting by Hogarth. There were riots about the change in the calendar. At the very back of the painting, you can see a defaced portrait of William III that suggests that the Conservatives, the Tories, had been using the room for various meetings, and defacing the portrait of the king was part of their festivities. There's text on a banner on the far right of on the far left of the painting. There's a red banner which is saying liberty and loyalty, which is the slogan of the Whigs. There's a few candidates underneath that banner, two candidates there, and there's a at the back there's an anti-Semitic banner. There's a parade in the street with an effigy labelled "No Jews" and banners for calling for liberty and marry and multiply in the spirit of the devil, which was a protest at the plans to emancipate the Jews. Now, this has right at the bottom is a banner saying, "Give us back our 11 days." Why? Because in 1752, Britain adopted the Gregorian calendar, and this was enacted on Wednesday, September the 3rd. So Wednesday, September the 3rd, in 1572 was followed by Thursday, September the 14th, and riots broke out because workers believed they'd been cheated of 11 days of wages. The workers were clearly rather foolish, and a similar debate is going on at the moment, or has gone on at the moment, which has led to President Zelensky making a decision that Christmas would be celebrated on the 25th of December, along with much of the West, and the Ecumenical Patriarch, and the Ecumenical Patriarchate based in Constantinople, now Istanbul. And that's really the key. So when Ukraine aligned with the Ecumenical Patriarchate and moved away from the Patriarchate of Moscow, it embraced the more Western tradition of following the Gregorian rather than the Julian calendar. The Julian calendar was slightly out of sync, and Pope Gregory the Great instituted this new calendar, which today is, I think, about 13 days out from the 7th of January. So the Orthodox Church in Russia would celebrate Christmas on the 7th of January, and so did the Ukrainian Church until this year. So this year will be the first Christmas where Ukraine celebrates the day with the Western churches, with Greece, with Rome, and so on. And the change has also moved St. Nicholas's Day from September the 19th to December the 19th to December the 6th. And many children in Ukraine will now get gifts, or would now have already had gifts from St. Nicholas on St. Nicholas's Eve. That would be the 5th of December, and had previously been the 18th of December. And some children might get presents also on New Year's Eve from Grandfather Frost as opposed to Father Christmas. And you will find, if you travel to Russia, there is a tendency to talk about New Year's trees and New Year's presents rather than Christmas trees and Christmas presents, because Christmas is the feast of Christmas is much later than the feast or the celebration of the New Year. Now, Ukraine has a rather wonderful tradition at Christmas, which I presume will be replicated this Christmas, of having a feast of 12 dishes representing Jesus' 12 disciples. And traditionally, the dishes don't have any meat, eggs, or milk in them. And so the main dish is a sort of sweet porridge made of wheat, and other dishes can include mushrooms, sauerkraut, borscht, dumplings, cabbage rolls, and without meat in them, cabbage buns, special Christmas bread, and another one of the 12 dishes, another feast of 12 dishes is eaten on Christmas Day itself, which will now be the 25th of December, and those dishes will contain the meat, whereas the dishes which are eaten on Christmas Eve don't contain the meat. And there's also the same sort of traditions in Ukraine about Christmas Eve being a slightly sort of scary time, where the goblins and the spirits that hide in the top of the house can invade the house. And you might remember the Rimsky-Korsakov opera Christmas Eve, where all of this becomes very vivid, and Baba Yaga is let loose on the world. But yes, I think this year we need to wish people in Ukraine a very happy Christmas in a couple of days' time, and to remember people in Ukraine as they start their 12 dishes without meat for Christmas Eve, which begins tomorrow, of course, only in a very short space of time. So happy Christmas.